Welcome everyone to this video. My name is Abel and we're going to be talking about shipping to the USA. This here is a guide that I wrote, link in the description on my website. My website is whatcaniselltomakemoney.com if you want to check that out. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking a little bit on how to ship from wherever you're at to the United States. And it's actually going to be pretty simple. I know international shipping for a lot of people is, well, it's a little tricky and it's a little scary, but I'm going to go over it. It's actually going to be pretty simple. All right, so I'm going to be going over my guide here. Let's start here. So shipping to the US, a beginner's guide. All the steps that I'm going to be discussing in this guide are going to be using FedEx. Now, it's important. The reason I picked FedEx is because, well, we'll get into that in just a minute. FedEx currently has a really simple international priority flat rate shipping service. And so this guide, sometimes when I do guides, I like to say what it's not so people don't have this misconception what's going on. So this guide is not going to cover all international shipping needs. It's just going to cover enough to get like a small to medium shipment to the United States. Okay? So if you have this really long, who knows, fishing pole, or if you have this really heavy anvil or something, this guide's not going to be for you. This is going to be more small to medium shipment. Anyway, so shipping to the US is actually pretty simple. And what I got here is a FedEx postage price calculator. Let's open that guy up real quick. And it looks like this. I know there's a lot of stuff in here, but I'm going to be going over it. It's going to be an example. I'm going to show you how to use all this. And it's actually pretty simple and straightforward. We'll get into one of those in just a minute. I just wanted to open that up so you guys could take a look at it. All right, so this guy's, excuse me. So this guide is going to help those who are trying to ship items in bulk. All right. The reason I do bulk is because that's how you're going to get the most amount of bang for your buck. The best price per item. And I'm going to go over that in just a minute. Now, if you're just going to do like a one-off shipment, this could help you. If you're doing multiple shipments to the United States, let's say you have a business in which you want to keep getting stuff over to the US, this will help you as well. Yeah, so let's go over this a little bit. So let's say you want to get a better price for your items. You can talk to your post office, whatever country you're at, and see if they can give you a better idea of how much they're going to cost to ship your item. And then you compare it to these prices, which I'm going to be talking about in just a minute. Or you can just say, screw that, and just do these prices, which might even be easier for you since, that's what you're trying to do. Here's my little graphic I made. Kind of proud of that. I don't know why. Sometimes just making things is, like making these videos, just some fulfillment in there. Anyway, all right, so shipping in bulk can reduce the price per item cost of each item, making international business selling in the U.S. profitable. Now, real quick, one of the reasons I'm making this article is because I had a person who saw my other videos. I have a few videos on shipping. It's mainly shipping in the U.S. and shipping from the U.S. out. Anyway, he had this issue. Him and his dad have a shoe selling business in Morocco. And in Morocco, he says that the majority of his business, the people that buy stuff from him online, are usually in the United States. Now, for him to ship to the United States a pair of they're really nice shoes, it costs him like $75 US dollars to get from Morocco to the United States to his customer. And since he saw that I did a lot of videos on it and I've been answering a lot of questions about it, he wanted to know if I could if I knew a way, or if I didn't, if I could figure it out. I didn't know. Luckily, I do have some experience with international shipping. And when I did find this, I was so excited for him because I ended up with the stuff that I'm going to be talking to you. I actually ended up lowering his cost to like $10 or $11 per unit. So it went from $75 a unit to $10 to $11 per unit, and he was happy. He was ecstatic. I mean, that's savings he can pass on to the customer, right? He can lower the cost of his shoes, right? Lowering the cost of shipping, he can now, if he wanted to, lower the price of his shoes and then move more shoes, or just make better quality shoes, whatever he wants to do. Anyway, so I ended up doing that for him. This is for that. If you do have any questions, you can always ask me in the comments or directly through one of my social media. Anyway, so let's go over some of this real quick. So here's an example I have on here. So let's say let's say shipping one item to the US from your country costs $50. All the prices I have on here are going to be in United States dollars. So let's say something you're going to ship, just for this example, $50. Then let's say the shipping two items at the same time from the US to your country costs you $60, right? So one item is 50, but if you put two items together, it's 60. So that means that your per item cost now is $30 each instead of 50, right? So as you can see how this works here, by shipping more items at once, you're actually saving more money per item. And this is what I got across to him, and then the rest of this guide is going to show you how to actually do that, and to, if you are trying to ship to the United States, it gets you that option. Anyway, so, and not even that, not just two items, but if you put more in the box, it actually lowers it even more. So the more quantity you ship, the lower your per item cost can be. There are other factors involved, but this works as a general rule. So depending on the size and weight of your item, the per item cost can be lower to a smaller fraction of the shipping cost than that of just one item. And a lot of bigger companies do this. Like when they ship items, they don't just ship one at a time. Let's say they're getting from one Walmart to the next Walmart, or a Costco to another Costco. They ship in bulk, and that saves them per item. Anyway, so it's a lot of words. Basically, all it's saying is the more you can put in one shipment, the lower the price of those items can be, and save you a lot of money. All right, so now with that info, that's the precursor. Now we're gonna go to the first thing I got on here. So number one, shipping to the US with tracking. So now we're gonna get into a few different examples to help you out. So we're gonna be using FedEx, and the cost to ship to the US changes from country to country based on the weight and size of a package being sent. So typically the way people normally think is if you weigh it and then you figure out, you weigh it, you take the dimensions, and then FedEx will give you a price depending on those weight dimensions. But FedEx makes it easy. Makes it a little easier actually by offering two box sizes that are flat shipping costs to the United States, right? So that's important. You got two different boxes and they're flat rate costs, and I'll go over what that means in a minute. So just remember, there's two different boxes that they offer that are flat rate. So one is the 10 kilogram box, and the second is a 25 kilogram box. Now, flat rate means it costs the same to ship an empty box as it does to ship a full box. This is interesting. So let's say you got an empty box, right? You say you got the 10 kilogram empty box, and you want to ship it empty. It's going to cost you the same price shipping it empty as it is if it's full. That's what basically flat rate means. It means one price to the destination. So in order to take advantage of the bulk saving strategy that we were talking about earlier, you're going to want to fill it as much as possible. So you just want to, it's going to be your merchandise, so you might want to, bubble wrap it and make sure that it's not going to break in transit. But, stuff it in there, make sure you got enough in there to make it worth your while sending it. And here's another note here. So the 10 kilogram box is cheaper than the 25 kilogram box, right? So the 10 kilogram box is bigger. 10 kilogram box is smaller, so it costs less to ship that than it does a 25 kilogram box. Now I've included a sample of estimated shipping prices to the US from the following countries. Here's where we're going to get into some examples, some stuff you've been waiting for here. Okay, so the FedEx International Priority Flat Rate box, the 10 kilogram box. Here are the dimensions in inches and then centimeters, and then also the weight. It's 31 ounces when it's empty. You might need to know that, you might not, who knows. So the estimated postage cost to the US for a 10 kilogram box to the US from the country listed. Those are a lot of words. If you're in the UK and you're shipping that box to the United States, here's the price in US dollars. And I have a few different countries. Now let me show you the box. Let me show you the 10 kilogram box. Look at this guy. Look at this bad boy. It's a good, you know what? Let me make this full screen. 1 second. Here we go. It's a good size, right? The dimensions are on there. You can check that out. But it could fit a good amount. Maybe if you're doing like a test run, if you just want to put a few things in there, see how it works. And we're gonna get into some of the stuff like why you're shipping bulk or who can help you out with the bulk in a minute. But here's the box. It's got a lot of different writing, so it's international, different languages, and it's pretty sturdy, and it's thick to help protect your items when you ship. So that's the box. It's a good size. Okay, so let's say you have that 10 kilogram box and you're in the UK and you want to ship it to the United States. It's going to cost you $122.10 as of, I think I put up this number yesterday. And these prices can change depending on FedEx, what's going on. So I know it says flat rate, and then it could change from day to day, but it's roughly, I've checked it a few times throughout I think a few weeks, a month, and the prices stay about the same price. So this is going to be our example, the one we're going to end up using. If you're in Canada, here's some other prices, but we'll get into that in just a minute. Anyway, so let's get into that. I'm going to go ahead and go back to that page we opened up earlier, and here's where we're going to use. Let's see if you guys can. Let me make this bigger here. Let me make this text a little bit bigger so it comes out better in the video. All right, maybe just a little bit bigger. Okay. So we're going to do the from location. So that's where you put your location, and depending where you're at, there's a lot of countries listed in here. We're going to go ahead and do the United Kingdom because that's the example we have. The postal code, I didn't have an example one here. That, and then I have here Glasgow is where I'm using, where I'm getting this info from. It's going to give me the price from there, but it's usually the same price all in UK. I could be wrong. I didn't check every UK location. Destination country, it's going to be United States. Here you can put in whatever zip code. I like to use 90210. If you guys don't know, this used to be a TV show back in the 90s. And that zip code or postal code is actually Los Angeles. So I just did an example one to Los Angeles. Number of packages 1. Weight, let's just say 10 kilograms because we're doing the 10 kilogram box. And we're going to go drop off packages. And if you use FedEx pickup, it might not work because it might not be FedEx around you to pick it up. So we're going to do drop off at a FedEx. But today's the date. That's today's date, July 6th. We're going to get detailed quote. Hopefully you can see all that. All right, right now what's selected is documents. We're not sending documents. It's important to let them know what you're sending because it could affect customs. It's going to affect customs information. So let's click products, and here it's products and commodities, and it says here a description is required to determine the transit time for the shipment. We're going to fill that out in just a minute. All right, so total customs value, you're going to want to put in, this is going to affect insurance and all that, shipping your items to the United States. Now, it's very possible that the higher number you put in here, the more they're going to charge you insurance and tax and VAT tax. But if you want to make sure you put in the right amount in here, you don't want to accidentally something happen and it breaks or it gets lost, and then they end up not giving you the insurance because you lied on it. So let's just say, let's pick a big number here. I'm just going to say $500. This is all good. Right, we did that. And then we're going to select, you have your options here, but the ones we're going to be using, oh, it's not showing up in the video. That's weird. It's not showing up this box here that I clicked, but here, anyway, there's two options in here. You can see it now. It's a 10K box, and there's also a 25K box. The one we're going to use is the 10K. Those are the two options we're going to end up using. And then we're going to put in here declared value. Let's go ahead and put that $500 value in there. And it's in US dollars. You can put in whatever other ones. You can't see it. That's weird. Anyway, there's a pop-up box with a bunch of different other countries in there. Country money. So it goes South Korean won, Swedish Koran, Swiss francs. Anyway, you get it. We're going to leave it at US dollars. And we're going to go continue. And then here it's going to ask the product or commodity description. So this is where you're going to put in the item of what it is you're trying to ship. And if you have a few, I think it does give you an option to put a few different ones in there. But because I was doing this for a gentleman from Morocco shipping to the United States, he was doing shoes. I selected shoes, and this item is still there. If you want to, whatever it is that you want to put, you could do a search in here, or you could start clicking around on these guys and then figuring out which one it is. But the one I ended up selecting was this one here. And shoes, there's a few different descriptions for shoes, but the one I picked was just any type of shoe or footwear. This is going to be important for what kind of customs form that FedEx is going to do, and they're going to fill it out for you, which is awesome. But it also determines if there's going to be any taxes, VAT taxes on what it is you're shipping. So I just click shoes, and we're going to go ahead and continue. All right. And then here it is. Here are the rates and transit times of what we want to ship. And it gives us two different options. One is 110. These are pounds. So it gives it to me in pounds. I think I could change it. Oh, here it is, a currency converter, but it's okay. I already did it ahead of time. So you got two different options. You can have it delivered there by Saturday, right? Which is, for me, that's tomorrow. Wow. So you can pay a little bit more and get it there tomorrow, or you can pay a little less and get it there by Monday. And it's a FedEx International Priority. And here it is, $94.37. I'm lucky this box came up, but you see this box that popped up and it gives you all the different little charges that they have. So fuel surcharge, declared value, base discount. So depending on the price of gas, I guess this number can go up or go down. Anyway, so 94 pounds. I think they say 94 pounds 37. I think that's the convention of saying those, saying the pounds over in the UK. Anyway, so 94 with 37 is going to end up being around this price here that I have, about $122.10. And that's how you can get an item from the UK to the United States, that price. And here are some other examples I have on here, right? I got Canada, Australia, Philippines, Hong Kong. And you can see that the prices are different. Look at Canada. Canada is more expensive than the UK. So shipping from Canada to the US is a little bit more expensive than shipping from the UK to the US. I don't know how that works. That's just FedEx. But then you can see other ones like Australia. It's a little bit more. And it looks like the most expensive one is Japan here. But when I did this for the gentleman in Morocco, it's like $400. It's like $350, $400, something like that. It was expensive. But just so you guys can see, here are some of the prices just so you can look. Now, these prices are going to change depending on, well, it's going to change over time. So if you're watching this sometime in the future, that these prices might be different. There might be less, there might be more. I don't know. You should check using this webpage with the link that I provided. Okay, so that is that. The next thing I want to talk about is FedEx International Priority flat rate for the 25 kilogram box, which is roughly about 55 pounds. Here are the dimensions. It's pretty big. Here in centimeters. And it weighs a whopping 57 ounces by itself. Here, let me show you that box. Actually, let me go back to full screen mode here. This is a whale. Not sure you can get it into the frame. It's pretty big. It is also very thick. I can't get in there. It's a good size. And I haven't put any tape on it, and they were able to make it so that it fits all together. If I would ship this, I definitely want to tape it down, make sure everything is nice and secure for my items. But as you can see, it's huge. Let's get those out the way. All right, here we go. So now, all right, so same deal. We have an estimated postage cost for the 25 kilogram box from your country to the US, and for the UK it is $221.69. Now if you want, you can go back into, actually I didn't show it, huh? Sorry, let me go back to this here. All right, back to this. So here we go. Estimated postage cost to the US from your country, and let's say your country is the UK, $221.69. Canada is a little bit more. Australia, wow, bumped up to $533. Now, if you want, you can always go here and fill all that in by using the 25 kilogram box, and that'll give you an estimate for your country. But here's just a few just so you can look. Now we're going to get into this here. So shipping prices change all the time. So the book prices can be out of date as soon as I publish this article. So make sure to do your own checking. I already said that. You guys probably know that. And here's an example. Another example. Many examples. So let's say you're shipping from the UK and you're shipping a 25 kilogram box. All right. So before, up there, it was $221. Anyway, let's just say it's $222. And let's say you can get 50 items in that huge box, right? You bubble wrap it, or you make sure you put in those pecking peanuts, whatever. You can get 50 items in there. So $222 divided by 50 is $4.44 per item. That is pretty good price. $4 per item to ship it internationally. I think for me, I can actually, if an item is roughly about 14 ounces, my cost is about $4.50 to ship it across the United States. So if I want to ship one item from California, from San Diego to Florida, it might cost me $4.50. And here, you're shipping across the ocean to another country, and you can get your per item cost at $4.44, which is awesome. That's how I was telling this gentleman how he can get it down to really low, down to, it was like 10 or 11 bucks, right? We did the calculation, how many items he can fit in there, and then we did all that. Now, to let you know some more information about shipping so that you have a little bit more prepared, I got a few other things here bolded. So the maximum value of an item you can ship depends here. So it depends on the country you're shipping it from. FedEx does have some rules depending on other countries. Normally I would have more detailed information on here, but I don't know what country you're coming from. So I have to make it as generic as possible, but I try to fill it in as best I can. So delivery times, you saw that earlier with that example. So it's actually pretty fast. I mean, it's 3 to 5 days, but it could be longer depending on whatever country you're in. When I ship something using our post office here, it could take a week, it could take a month. It really depends on both the U.S. Postal Service and whatever country I ship it to, their postal service. Like if I want to ship to Russia, it might take over a month just for them to get it. So you got that. Tracking, because it's FedEx, it's the same company. So you're shipping from the same company in the U.S., from wherever you're at, from the U.K., to the U.S. or from wherever country to the U.S. It's the same company, so they give you tracking. Not the same. It might not be true if you're shipping it using your own postal government service, whatever it is you have. So that's good. You need the tracking. It is a piece. You get peace of mind when you have tracking. I've had some things lost and I couldn't find them shipping it internationally. Insurance. So insurance is available on most shipments. The amount and what can be insured are dependent on the country shipping from and what is being shipped. So there's a lot of word salad. So whatever it is you're shipping may or may not be covered under insurance, and also depending on what country you're in, may or may not have insurance on it. As far as customs forms, FedEx will help you out with that. That's what we did earlier when we typed in that, where I clicked shoe. Custom fees, FedEx will also give you an estimate how much the custom fees will be. And they also give you the option of paying the fees before you ship the package. That is important. When I ship via the post office here, I don't know. They don't tell me what it is beforehand. There's no estimate that my post office gives me. It usually gets to the customer, and the customer will end up having to pay, and you never know what it is because whatever destination country may charge different than what you thought was going to be ahead of time. So the final customs fee will be calculated by the customs agent when the package arrives to the United States. This fee may or may not be the same that FedEx quoted you. So FedEx will quote you, but because they do it on a regular basis, they can give you a good estimate of what's going to be, and you can pay it ahead of time rather than after. And even though they give you a quote, it doesn't mean that's how much it's actually going to cost once it gets there. Tariff codes. You can find the HS tariff code through the FedEx website. I kind of skipped over that, but that's when I clicked that shoe option and then hit continue. You can get it from there. Shipping supplies. So both of these boxes I just showed you, both of these bad boys down here, I don't know if you can hear that, but both the 10 kilogram box and the 25 kilogram box can be found on the FedEx website and in their stores. I picked up these boxes for free at my local FedEx store. I just walked in, I asked them for it, they gave it to me, it was free. I don't know how much, if you have to order it online, I don't know how much it'll end up being, but it might be worth it if you can end up getting your items to the country you're looking for. Next, restrictions and more. So FedEx has restrictions on what they allow to be shipped using their services. In addition to FedEx restrictions, your origin country and the U.S. also has their own restrictions. Please check all restrictions before mailing items. All right, so we're dealing with 3 different entities here, right? We're dealing with your country, what restrictions they have, FedEx, what restrictions they have, and then also the U.S., the restrictions they have. So you got 3 different places of which have many restrictions. I recommend you check them all out. I don't have listings for all the countries, but hopefully you could do the legwork on that on your own and figure that out before you ship. Because if you ship something, let's say it's a box and you have $500+ worth of stuff in there, and you ship it and it turns out it's restricted by one of these 3 different entities, they could either keep it, or it could be destroyed, or you can get it back. It really depends. But it's something good to look into. Or like I said earlier, you might want to do a test shipment, maybe using the 10K box first, and then when you feel comfortable, you can use the bigger one. So many things can go wrong. Insurance is a good way of managing the risk of international shipping, and it is nice. It is definitely peace of mind when you have insurance. When I've shipped a few things and I've lost them internationally, 2 of which went to Australia, they were just gone. No one knew where they were. I didn't have any insurance on them, but it wasn't a big deal because they were low value items, so I didn't mind. But if I had insurance and they were gone, I would have gotten paid easily. Okay, now for the second chapter. Sorry. Number 2. Who is going to process my orders once it's in the U.S.? So this whole time you might be thinking, all right, Abel, I have a bunch of stuff I want to ship, but no one's bought it yet, right? If I ship one item, this is the usual process that will usually happen, right? Someone will purchase from you, let's say one item. And then what you do is you go ahead and you ship it to them directly. But if you want to do a bulk like I've been talking about, how are you going to get, you may not have sold that bulk yet, right? There's no buyers yet, but you're just shipping it to the US. Okay, who do I ship it to? What happens when it gets there? What happens? What do I do? What now? Right? So I figured that out for the gentleman in Morocco, and here it is for you. So what you could do here, I got on here, if you already have a buyer, then you can ship it directly to them, right? Let's say one person purchased a bunch of items, or maybe there's like 5 people you have in the US and you ship that in bulk to the US. So you can do that. I guess you can't ship it in one shipment because it'll go to one person rather than 5. Anyway, but let's get on to this. All right. So, but if you don't have a buyer yet, then you can send your package to a fulfillment center, right? And a fulfillment center is a place where they're companies. Let me stick to the script here. Fulfillment centers. The disadvantage in shipping your items in bulk is that you'll most likely not have your items sold just yet. You'll have merchandise in the U.S. that is waiting to be sold. So who's going to do that for you? That's where fulfillment centers come in. What is a fulfillment center? A fulfillment center is a company that offers solutions that include providing a U.S. address to ship to, very important, storing your products, and providing domestic shipping, meaning you get your item to them. Let's say you ship a bunch of items in bulk, let's say 50, right? You use the 25 kilogram box, you fill it 50 items, you ship it to a fulfillment center. They will open the box and then they will store it for you. They'll store those 50 items. So once a customer on your website or whatever website makes a purchase, then that fulfillment center sends it to them. Now I said domestically in here, but they can also be internationally, right? So let's say the gentleman was in Morocco. Let's use the UK. All right, let's say someone's in the UK. They bulk ship to the US to a fulfillment center. And then someone from another country, let's say the UK, orders it. They could actually ship it from the US back to the UK if you wanted to. You have all kinds of different options you can have. But anyway, I thought that was a funny thing. You're in the UK, you ship it to America, then America back to the UK. I thought that was hilarious. All right, where was I? So a fulfillment center, they handle the logistics. All you have to do is get your package to them, and they'll do, get the package to them and then tell them who to mail it to. Some shopping cart software are set up so that when a customer makes a purchase, the software will send the customer's shipping info directly to the fulfillment center. Meaning, so let's say you have your own website and someone goes to the website, makes a purchase. You can actually have the software send the customer's info directly to your fulfillment center, and the fulfillment center will go ahead and ship it to them so that you don't have to keep every day or every other day sending the fulfillment center emails with people's customers. It'll go directly. You'd have to look up the one that fits your software, and there's a lot, but you have to first find the fulfillment center that uses it. Now, before I get onto this next paragraph, real quick, I didn't add on here. So there's many fulfillment centers in the U.S. I don't have a list of them, or I don't have any one that I have that I recommend just yet. But eventually, maybe in the future, if I do find one, I'll put it in here and I'll put a link to it, and hopefully you'll use that But if not, I mean, right now it's blank. Use whatever one you feel most comfortable with and that works with your software. Now, here's another one. Unless, all right, so I sell stuff on Amazon, and here's one of the issues I have, right? So unless you're selling on Amazon, I don't recommend that you use their fulfillment services, which they call FBA. Amazon has their own fulfillment center. We'll call it FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. And there's issues with them, right? There's a lot of different steps you got to take through them. They're rigid. There's a lot of other problems that come up that I don't recommend you using them unless you're selling on Amazon. Now, I use FBA and their customers. I use FBA and their customer service for sellers is terrible. For customers, right? If I'm buying stuff on Amazon, it's great. But if I'm selling, it's really hard to get anybody to talk to me. It's hard. Even if I do get people to communicate, they don't know what's going on because it's such a big company. Having that one person try and figure out what's going on, it's very difficult. Anyway, so sometimes when my messages take a really long time to be answered, and when they are, they don't know what they're talking about. Meaning the person doesn't know my specific issue. Amazon's so big, they have one specific issue that they know. It might be it might not work out, right? Sometimes I'll wait a few days for them to go, oh, we're gonna look into that. I'm gonna send you to some other person, and then even then they might not know. Anyway, so non-Amazon fulfillment centers can be much more flexible and can be much better fit for your needs, depending on what it is you're using. I don't know your situation, but again, at least that idea is out there, right? You can get a box, flat rate box, fill it to as much as you can, ship it to the US to get that savings, find a fulfillment center that works with your software and is going to be flexible enough to do what you need them to do, right? So that's that. Next, number 3, what is the cheapest postage cost to the United States? When I was talking to the guy from Morocco, one of his goals was trying to get it as cheap as possible. And that's not the main goal of this article. This article is just to get you, it's a beginner's guide, get you into it so that you know how to ship it over. But he wanted to know what's cheap, and we tried to figure out, and we did some back and forth. So here's a few tips. The first tip: if you live in a country that has a high shipping charge, check the cost of flat rate boxes in a neighboring country. The cost in a nearby country can be substantially cheaper. So he was shipping out of Morocco, and it was costing him, let's say for the 25 kilo box, I think it was like $500. But if he were to get it, like I asked him if he knew anybody in the UK, right? Because in the UK, if you saw that, I think it was like $222. And Morocco is right there, right near it. But I mean, there's an ocean. Anyway, so what I was saying, if he knew anyone in Europe that maybe, or if he had access to Europe, maybe he can go into Europe, and instead of shipping from Morocco at $500, he could ship it from somewhere in the UK for $222. So if you're in an area with a lot of countries around you, check the prices of the other countries to see if that flat rate box is cheaper, and you can save a whole lot more money. Next, check FedEx for the cost using your exact weight to see if you can get a better deal than using the flat rate box. Check other postal carriers in your area. It's very possible that they can give you a better deal than FedEx. So let's say you have an item. Let's say you fill up the box, right? Let's say you fill up a flat rate box. Take it into them and go, hey, how much would you charge me if it wasn't flat rate? Now, if the number they give you is higher than the flat rate, well, then just go with flat rate. But if they give you lower, then then you unpack that box and you put it into another box and you get a better deal. Or you can check other carriers, right, besides just FedEx. But again, this is a beginner's guide. We're not going to get into that. Next, if you're going to be shipping to the US, make sure you get every discount you can. So there's a lot of different discounts you can do, right? At the end of the year, when I do my taxes, I go over the fees and the shipping. So the biggest cost I have is usually merchandise fees. The second biggest cost is shipping fees. If I can take that shipping, the thing I can lower the easiest is the shipping, right? Depending on what I do with my items to get it to my customers. So I can actually, that's the biggest place where it's the second biggest cost, and it's the biggest category that I can actually have a lot more control over, depending on how I ship it. So anyway, so the shipping fees are the biggest fees by far under merchandise fees. So anything you could do to reduce these costs are mandatory in order to stay in business and stay competitive. Because if you're shipping costs are high, it's going to be harder to be competitive, and you end up maybe possibly going out of business. So there are online services where you can buy shipping at discount rates. Companies like Stamps.com have special agreements with FedEx, DHL, UPS. You can get up to 20% off shipping costs. Now I have a link here. At some point in time, I'm going to have an affiliate link there. So if you click it and you end up making a thing, I end up getting a bonus for doing this, which would be awesome, but I don't right now. I'm sure I'll have something on there. It might not even be stamps later on. We'll figure that out. Anyway, so if you do want even more discounts, there's ways to get online so you can purchase a shipping and it'd be cheaper than if you just walked into FedEx. There's that. I have a subscription, not to Stamps. I have another subscription where it does give me a really big discount for that. And if you are interested in shipping, different ways to ship internationally from the U.S. out, you can take a look at it. Anyway, I included that in there just for people who are somewhat interested, like little details. And anyway, that's there. Anyway, all right, so that's that. Next, last thing I want to talk about. Go full screen mode here. Put in a lot of work on this. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up. That thumbs up will come in handy with other people who want to look at this information. Hopefully it'll help them out, which is my goal. Anyway, if you do have any questions, I'm sure you will. There's a lot of stuff to go into. Everybody has a different situation. Let me know and I will try and answer it. But in that, appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much.